Hello folks, and welcome to another video. In this one I'll be doing a review of Beyond Good and Evil, but the 20th anniversary edition. So we're going to be looking at what's different in the game, because core gameplay wise it's more than likely the same, but there seems to be some pretty big upgrades, I would say, graphically, and also in terms of music. A lot of the music has been redone, but with a proper orchestra now. So you're playing this. What would you say is different so far graphically?
It seems a lot smoother.
So better frame rate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so what console did you last play this on? Because the PS4 version... sorry, I don't think there was a PS4 version actually. I think, no, PS3 was the last version.
PS3.
So you're talking 30 FPS on PS3, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, it felt quite difficult for me to play before. It felt quite clunky because it's such an old game.
Yeah. I mean, it is old now. You're talking, this game's probably 20 years old, maybe more.
Yeah.
Still really good though. So obviously now we've got it runs at 4K and 60 FPS. I can't speak to the PC version. I would think the PC version would be able to run at 120 FPS, but whether the internal logic of the game will allow that, I don't know. I haven't got it on both. So this is being played on the PS5, and it's in resolution mode. So far, at least, I haven't noticed a drop in performance that would make it worth playing in performance mode. Unless, of course, performance mode gives you a higher frame rate above 60, but it doesn't actually say that on here. You might want to eat some of your Arcos. I think, is it triangle, circle? Or D-pad, maybe?
Maybe I need to look.
It'll probably tell you anyway, but I just can't remember. I can just see it flashing.
Let's see.
So one thing that's quite annoying with this is it really wants you to sign in with a Ubisoft account. Very little benefit to that, in all honesty. A bit of cloud saves, that sort of thing. More annoying than anything. So we've got 4K orchestrated music now as well, 60 FPS. You can see there's some enhanced lighting effects and whatnot there. What about texture work? I think the texture work seems to have had a pretty big upscale on it as well. I mean,
see all the details on the rug.
Yeah, that rug definitely did not look like that on the PS3 version.
The grain of the wood on the box.
Yeah. Of course, I wonder if it's a AI upscale, because oftentimes an AI upscale will struggle with writing and stuff. Oh, you've already got him. So is there anything with writing on it that we can look at? Yeah, like that. I mean, if that is an AI upscale, it's done a good job. Yeah. Yeah, that's what heals you. So would you say overall this is a better way to play it?
Oh, definitely, because I really struggled just like walking about originally when I played it before.
I played this originally on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah. And that's 30 FPS on there, but it was not solid. I think there's something in that oven.
In the oven?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember. There you go. Yeah, not that I've played this like 5 or 6 times or something, yeah.
I don't know if it was necessary to kick it open. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's our own oven. What would you kick it for? I think you'd be annoyed if I kicked our oven open.
Yeah, I think, well, yeah.
So let's have a little look around the environment before going over to that mission disc.
I would like to take a picture of this picture.
Okay. So some of the things that have changed on this, you've got cloud saves now, and you can skip cutscenes as well, which I suppose is good if you played the game recently, for example. But core gameplay is basically the same, except it's got a speedrun mode now as well. But what I would also say is this game, I don't think, has aged barely anything. There's some more detritus as it were on the floor now as well. Like there's bits of rock and stuff, they weren't there before, so they've added that in. Shadows are definitely high resolution.
Like do that as well, like poses and moves. Like, did they do
I don't remember if she used to do that.
Because that's quite good, because it looks like she's looking at something.
Yeah, she's looking up at the shield or something, isn't she? It looks like. Yeah, so I've got to say, why don't you go over the other side and let's have a look out.
I'm not going to that.
No, I'd say go to the right a bit, yeah, and have a look out over the water, and let's see how.
Where's this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's never really explained in the game why they're all, some of them are animal types and things like that. Later on, you can get a better zoom for your camera if you can't get a good look at them.
Damn you, birds.
So the water texture, I'd say, apart from the reflections perhaps being a little bit better on it, they're not, that's not wildly different. But the foliage is definitely denser and better looking. And like I said, shadows and that are better. I'd say this is the ultimate way to play it, except for having to do that stupid Ubisoft login. What's he doing? Funny little thing, isn't he?
I think I've already got a picture of him.
Yeah. The texture work is incredible, though. They've really done a good job of upscaling that.
This is better than the Final Fantasy number 9.
Yeah, that was a very basic upscale.
Rubbish. This is really much better.
Yeah, they've done a good job with this. Now, okay, you're buying it again for $17.99 when I've already had it on multiple different systems. But I do think developers should receive something for the time it takes to upscale these things. Oh, and you now interact with the vegetation as you walk through it. It actually moves around in that as well. So I'm not going to play through the whole game here and do like that kind of review, because the game has been out 20 odd years. But we were just looking really at the enhancements on it and whatnot, and see whether it's worth that $17.99. If you've played it before, maybe it's not worth it for you. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, the graphics are much better, the sound is better, and the frame rate is obviously better. But if you played this before on the PC, it's likely you might think, well, there's no point. But for me, I think this is an incredible game. Everything about it is brilliant, from the gameplay, the music, the storyline, the graphics and that, the art style. It's just a really excellent game. And I wish it had done better when it first came out all those years ago. But unfortunately, it didn't sell that well back then. But that hasn't stopped Ubisoft. That hasn't stopped Ubisoft from from bringing it out on multiple different systems. But I would say, especially if you haven't played this before, and being as it's 20 years old, some of the people watching this might not have actually originally played it on the PS2 and PS3. I can highly recommend getting this game. Maybe it'll go cheaper later on, but I can highly recommend it. For $17.99, you are getting a game with a wonderful story, brilliant gameplay. Have you got him yet?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the first one I did.
Oh, okay. And it's just an overall, for me, 10 out of 10 game. The only bit I remember getting a bit annoyed about years ago playing this was some of the racing sections are a little bit hard, and the feels like they cheat a little bit. But you know, you can get through that and have a really great time with this game. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yes, so far. I'm just waiting to go on the next part of the mission.
Oh yeah, well, you better go and do that now, and I'll wrap up the video, because we are just doing a comparison, really, aren't we, essentially? Yeah, I mean, maybe I should put the old one next to it, but they've delisted it off of Steam and that, so yeah, really excellent game. Well, I think we're going to leave it there then, and I hope you go out on Steam or PlayStation 5 or Xbox or the Switch. This is available on all of them, and go ahead and get this game and enjoy something that goes back to a time when games were just really good, brilliant games, and there was none of the DLC rubbish or any of that, or any woke nonsense. It was just a really good, enjoyable game. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to hit that like button. That really helps me with the algorithm on YouTube. Leave me a comment. You know, tell me if you disagree with me or whatever. And share this video on your socials. And finally, subscribe to my channel. And if you want, have a look at my Patreon. But any of those things would be great. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.